Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. Here are some pictures you sent in on our Eyewitness platform. We'll begin with this one sent from Olowo Street in Surulere, Lagos State, showing a fallen electric pole. Our Eyewitness reporter says of concern is the fact that a primary school is located near the pole. From Ikotun, also in Lagos, comes this photo of a flooded street after it rains. Our Eyewitness reporter is appealing to the relevant authorities to expand the waterway to prevent a recurrence of this. Similar to that is this image from Calabar, the Cross River State capital, showing a flooded street, which our Eyewitness reporter says is as a result of poor drainage system. He is therefore calling on the appropriate authorities to improve the drainage to stop the flooding. And from Kuala Akpata in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, comes another picture of a flooded street after rainfall. Our Eyewitness reporter calls on the relevant authorities to control the flood by constructing the road with a good drainage system. Finally is this photo from Trans Ekulu in Enugu, showing residents repairing their road themselves. Our Eyewitness reporter says they had to carry out temporary road repairs instead of waiting for the government. They are, however, asking the government to make permanent repairs. Well, thank you for sending these pictures, and please note that you too can be an Eyewitness reporter on our Channels Witness platform. The President has asked Nigerians living in South Africa to obey the laws of their host country while remaining proudly Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari gave this advice when he met some members of the Nigerian community last night at the Nigerian consulate in Johannesburg after attending the AU summit. He was accompanied by the Ogun State Governor, Mr. Ibikunle Amosun, and his Benue counterpart, Dr. Samuel Otom. President Buhari also outlined efforts being made to eliminate Boko Haram, as well as those being made to make Nigeria better. Our South Africa correspondent, Pt.2, was there.
President Muhammadu Buhari wouldn't finish his visit to South Africa for the African Union summit without meeting the Nigerian community. This he did at the Nigerian consulate in Johannesburg, a meeting during which he ditched a written speech to speak to the people from the heart.
If he were in Nigeria, he would have known.
The president had his audience in stitches, a pleasant surprise for many, as he went over his many career milestones culminating in an eventful political patch.
As a head of state, I went straight to detention for 3.5 years. So those who accuse me of locking them up, I too have been locked up. So
2000
The Consul General Ambassador Uche Ajulu-Keke and the President of the Nigerian Union South Africa, Mr. Ikechukwu Anyene, gave him a situation report regarding Nigerians in South Africa, and he gave the government's assurances of improving Nigeria.
We have to secure the country, then efficiently manage it by making sure the economy is put right, youth are good, are employed, and then try and kill corruption.
Thank you very, very much. For those of us in diaspora, our desire is to be part of how you will change the country for the better.
Everyone wanted a selfie and a handshake with the president, and he patiently obliged.
Can you please sit down? He will shake everybody.
Earlier, on his arrival, the president was taking on a guided tour of the refurbished consulate by the Consul General.
We have the issuing capturing room. When you sit here, get your passport photograph.
May God bless it and bring security to Nigeria, Africa, and the universe.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm happy to see you in South Africa.
The president leaves behind a body of Nigerians in South Africa, hopeful for a better Nigeria, hopeful for a better bilateral relationship between Nigeria and South Africa, and looking forward to the exchange of state visits by both sides. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Pt.2, Channels Television News.
A Catholic priest in the Catholic Diocese of Ekiti State, Reverend Father Emmanuel Akingbade, who was kidnapped by 3 gunmen in Edo-Ekiti last week, Tuesday, has regained his freedom. The Catholic Bishop of the diocese, Most Reverend Felix Ajakaye, says that although no ransom was paid to secure the release of the priest, the abductors had demanded 200 million naira. Father Akingbade was kidnapped by the gunmen on the 9th of June in his bedroom at the mission house of St. Benedict's Catholic Church, Edo-Ekiti, around 8 in the evening and taken to an unknown destination. More on abductions and video evidence tendered by the Department of State Services has shown confessional statements made by 3 men accused of kidnapping Lagos lawyer Chief Mike Ozekome. In the video, one of the accused persons, Frank Aweko, is seen recounting how Chief Ozekome was kidnapped. He said the sum of 28 million naira was paid as ransom for the lawyer's release. Correspondent Amaka Okafo reports.
The accused persons at the last hearing had raised objection to the confessional statements tendered as evidence by the prosecution, alleging that it was obtained under duress. They therefore asked for investigation of the statement. During the investigation known in legal parlance as trial within trial, the prosecutor played videos said to be proceedings for taking the statements of the 3 accused persons. The 3 accused persons, Frank Ozeko, Kelvin Ezegbe, and one Michael, could be seen sitting down and answering questions from investigators not shown in the video. Ezebe in the video was seen telling investigators how he and others planned and rescued the other accused persons on their way to court in Warri, killing 2 prison warders. Another accused person, Frank Ozeko, in another video, recounts how they kidnapped Lagos lawyer Chief Mike Ozekome. In the video, he says the sum of 28 million naira was paid as ransom for the release of the lawyer, for which he got 4.1 million naira as his share. He also told investigators in the said video that 3 police officers were killed in the said operation. Reacting to the video evidence, lawyer to the accused persons dismissed it as part of any criminal trial. He vowed to challenge the evidence of the prosecution.
It's a normal procedure in criminal trials. They thought they had videos, they allegedly have videos of what they call confessional statements. They apply to court to present them in court, and the court allows it. But it's not an issue. It's part of the trial, so we still have time to come and cross-examine them on what they presented before the court this morning, and we'll prepare for that. Justice
Adeni Ademola adjourned the case to the 8th and 9th of July for continuation of trial within trial. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
In the meantime, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Solomon Arase, says that despite several directives on anti-crime activities, there are reports of increasing trend of kidnapping and violent crimes in Zone 6 Police Command, as well as police officers and men under Zone 6, comprising Cross River, Rivers, Ebonyi and Akwa Ibom states, to put all hands on deck and stem the tide. Now, in order to ensure that this is done, the police boss has put on hold all forms of leave, either casual or annual, for officers and men in these commands. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has discovered and destroyed over 24 hectares of cannabis plantation found at the Gambari Forest Reserve in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The commandant of NDLEA in Oyo State, Mrs. Omolade Faboyede, who led a joint team of security agents to the cannabis farm, says the war against illicit drugs, cultivation, sale and distribution will be more intense than ever. She warns that any farmer caught producing cannabis will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
It was a long, bumpy ride of about 40 minutes to the Gambari Forest Reserve in Oluyole local government area of Oyo State, where a large cannabis farm was carefully hidden. It was mostly a marshy terrain that prevented smooth passage of vehicles. Despite this hurdle, the team of law enforcement agents drawn from the police, civil defense, and SSS, led by the NDLEA, eventually got access to the farm. Surprisingly, this 24 hectares cannabis farm was recently raided by the NDLEA about 2 years ago.
What we have covered so far is about 24 hectares by our measurement. And still deep in the forest, I'm sure there's more to come across. And that's why we said this mission is not finished yet. It's going to be a continuous one.
The NDLEA boss, however, solicited for support of members of the community if it must succeed in its fight against illicit drugs.
So we are telling the public people that they should please help NDLEA to prevent people from taking drugs or using drugs because of the effects and all the other atrocities that goes with it.
With the destruction of this cannabis plantation, it is hoped that NDLEA in Oyo State would have achieved its aim of getting rid of illicit drug businesses in the state.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has been interrogating former governor of Ebonyi State, Martin Elechi, over allegations of financial malpractices during his tenure as governor of the state. A source close to the commission says that Mr. Elechi arrived at the commission at 10 a.m. today and was quickly ushered into the interrogation room. Some of the allegations against the former governor include the alleged theft of millions of naira in the asphalt contract for the 13 local government secretariats and headquarters. According to the source, till date, only 6 out of the 13 local governments executed the contract, though monies were approved and paid for all the local governments. The former governor is also being quizzed about the expenditure of funds earmarked for the centenary celebration. Three officers of the Western Marine Command of the Customs have been seriously wounded by smugglers during a major interception around the waterways on the border with Benin Republic. According to the controller of the command, Umar Yusuf, the officers put up a strong defense and overpowered the smugglers, leading to the seizure of over 2,000 bags of rice. In another operation around the Badagry waterways, rice worth about 40 million naira was also seized.
It's the first major seizure made by the Western Marine Command of Customs since the deployment of its new boss 6 months ago. This wooden boat was intercepted in the wee hours of Sunday around the Bower Creek by officers of the Marine Command around the Nigeria-Benin Republic waterways with over 2,000 bags of rice. The seizure, however, came with a prize. These officers returned from the operation with broken heads, hands and legs. The controller explains that this was the aftermath of the clash with the suspected smugglers.
They engage us and they have forgotten that, or they don't know, that Western Marine officers are now fully trained, well trained in the usage of AK-47. And we have enough AK-47, we have enough ammunition. So that is why we subdued them. Some of them jumped into the river with bullet wounds, and I don't know whether they are dead or they are alive. All I know that we were able to get the boat and we dragged the boat down to our base.
Away from the Marine Command to Bajuyeke Badagry waterside, here a large wooden boat is being offloaded. Over 4,000 bags of rice were offloaded. The customs boss of the Federal Operations Unit says smugglers not only hurt the economy, but their own businesses as well.
Smuggling, everybody knows, is dangerous venture. Let us forget about this smuggling. Let us venture into a legitimate business. There are a lot of businesses. We have a lot of opportunities.
The Customs Service says it is also deploying persuasion in its bid to reduce the scourge as it reaches out to host and border communities to cooperate with the service.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the federal government, Federal Road Safety Corps, and the Nigeria Union of Natural Gas and Petroleum Gas Workers, NUPENG, agreed to enforce the inspection of all petroleum trucks and regulation the speed limit. Join us again.